Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks and Gainy Titan, and we're on Kasserine and I'm in the Cromwell B. So I'm going to have, this week's going to be dominated by first looks at tanks. The Cromwell B has been out for a long time, but I've never actually gotten around to getting one for a variety of reasons. I think by the time the Cromwell B came out, I had actually completed most of the British tech tree, so I didn't feel any particular urgency to add further British tanks to my repertoire, or to my garage, should we say. And I'm okay for British crew trainers in the sense that I have tanks like low tier tanks like the Boilermaker and the Defiant and the Sentinel, whatever it is. I have the FE4202P and the T95 Centennial. You know, I have a good few British tanks that I can train crews on, and at the Excelsior, of course. Although the Excelsior is probably past its best in the sense that it's not as much fun as it used to be. Simply because just the armour doesn't hold up, and the gun isn't too many KV1s and KV1 variants, KV220s, KV Boggitars, various other things. That it's just not as much fun. However, there was a trade-in period where it was possible to trade in premium tanks that you didn't want for premium tanks that you'd much prefer to have if you had the gold. Obviously to make up the difference, because it's a fixed price, you don't get to haggle, and you don't get to add multiple premium tanks, so you can't really do it for free. I would have quite happily traded in multiple premium tanks as well. So I traded in the Ripper, I think, for the Cromwell B, and I traded in the T14, which is the American version of the Excelsior, for the Tiger 131. But I'm not that much good in Tigers, you know. I enjoy them, but I'm not that good at them. But I really enjoy the hell out of the Cromwell B. This is my second game. Cromwell, the Tech Tree Cromwell was the first tank where I felt that I was getting good at the game. It was my first time, I think, ever circling a higher tier tank to death. I remember circling a Tiger 2 to death in a Cromwell fully equipped, outfitted top Cromwell in the Tech Tree on Mountain Pass. I got it down in the ice lake, and my first shot was from, he didn't see me, he didn't know where I was, and I got his ammo rack. So I thought, I have his ammo rack, I'll try circling him to death. And I just drove in, and he was actually wedged up against the cliff, but I kind of managed to keep going back and forth and avoiding his return fire. So the Cromwell was fast. It can take a hit or two. It's got enough hit points to take a hit or two. The gun handling is poor. The bloom when it moves is absolutely huge, and it's slow. The aim time is long enough. However, it's a very accurate gun. So this has two effects. One of them is that if you have the ability to sit at range when undetected, you can just wait for the gun to aim. It doesn't bloom that big if you are that much. If you're just rotating the turret, is mostly the big massive bloom is caused by actually moving the tank, moving the hull. So if you're just moving the turret, you don't have as much of a problem. And if you what is this? So you can say it's very accurate. You can fire in there through a very narrow. I did it once. He's not going to give me a second chance to do it, but I fired through a very narrow cleft in the rocks there. Ooh, artillery. Squirrel. And off I go. But the other thing is there's a very rapid rate of fire. So if you're close enough that it doesn't matter, you're going to hit something anyway. You can circle to death quite a lot of things in this thing, because you're going quite fast. It's much better at it than quite a few other tanks, because it's just so fast. Unfortunately for me, by the time I got here, the artillery had driven down into the wadi and gotten destroyed, so I had to find other targets to go after, and that Yak Panzer was looking juicy. Thought if I came up here maybe I'd get a shot at him, but he's not, he's coming my way, so I thought, right, we better keep going because we're fast enough to do this. get in around him before he can actually point the gun at me. Which is what is another really nice thing about this tank. Is what really makes this tank is if you can come in on people fast enough, you might take a hit coming in, but if you can survive it, you can get in on top of them, and when you're really close, you can just jink around them faster than they can adjust their turret or move their sights or even have the gun aim in. I remember once getting completely annihilated from full health by one of these things. Well, not necessarily Cromwell B, but one of the regular Cromwells on Insk in my KV2. Couldn't put a finger on him. He was just zipping around me. And there's the same thing with the Stuart Emile. Now the Stuart Emile's best chances when I was actually shooting the SU-152. Not now when I have him on my own, with nobody else accompanying. Now, but unfortunately, my kill was stolen there just at the end. Somebody else came in, and there are now 2 remaining enemy tanks. We come over the top of the ridge, and that IS-3 is looking at me, so we back off, because he would easily end me with one shot. So there's no point in going out over that open prairie towards an IS-3 that's looking at me. We might as well go down into the low ground and see if we can get some shots into the IS-3 or the King Tiger. IS-3 from the front, the gun will probably struggle even with premium ammunition, but on the other hand, we're fast enough to get around him, and we should. However, one of them is gone. I suspect it's the King Tiger still remaining, so it's just got a round in. A lot of tanks closing in, so I got a second round in. The Tiger is tracked, but I don't get the final shot off. Somebody else does it, and we're it's game over. Nice, comfortable win, really, for our team. Over 2k damage, not a lot of spotting or assisted damage, and often isn't if you go the eastern side of the map. Now, silver earnings I think have been influenced heavily by the winter games, or the spring games is it now. However, first class mastery, and did I mention this was my second ever game in the Cromwell B, so it's a really neat tank. First class mastery, and I just noticed that it's bottom tier in a tier 8 game. There's only 2 tier 8s? No, 3 tier 8s. So it's not a bad tier 8. 4 tier 8s actually. There's 4 tier 8s on my team. Yep, 4 tier 8s on the enemy team as well, so I think that's more than enough to claim bragging rights on the forum thread, where that's a pinned forum thread, where you can just post up your results where you are, where you come top as bottom tier. Generally I just post now when I get a good result as well, like a first class master or something like that. It's the forum thread where it's basically the forum thread that's the answer to threads where people complain about being bottom tier all the time. You can do well if you're bottom tier, particularly in the right tank. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and a share. Feel free to comment. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now. Oh, and subscribe if you have not already done so. Bye.